Good afternoon. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt again with the American Orthodontic Society, and I am coming to you from beautiful Glen Rose, Texas, and I want to talk to you about a very interesting case here. It's impacted teeth, and several other problems are mixed in together, and you see that we've got a high angle case that has too much vertical dimension of the lower third of the face, and we work on it and bring some teeth out and bring it all up, and you remember what it looked like to start with, and you can see the vertical height of the face is changed at the end. So let's take a look at this young lady, and what I want you to remember is that this is the vertical height of the lower third of the face. It's too much. In other words, if you could visualize his face, maybe stop it along about in here, it would be nicer looking if it was. And you can tell the length of this face kind of messes up the appearance of most people's face. If your face is that way and you can't do anything, if you just smile all the time and like this and everything, then people don't notice but if you close your lips together, you have that appearance that this young lady has right here. Now look at her when we get through, and remember it looks like it's down about here. And now they don't all go down that easy. Let's look at the other side. This teeth look bad with, so even if she smiled, it wouldn't be very good. You don't notice the vertical height though when she smiles, but she's got a problem with the teeth. And you see we got some fullness of the face too when we go in here, so we got several things to work on here. Here we look at the models, and you can see the side of the teeth are crowded and everything, and we're going to go in and we're going to take some teeth out in both sides, and this is a baby tooth here we're removing, and we'll hope to save the other teeth here. So we're going to remove the baby deciduous molars and the permanent second bicuspids on the case. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you screw them up and you lose teeth like that, but you don't if you know what you're doing with it and get it a face that's full like that. You help it greatly. Same thing over here. Now we've got an unusual thing where the cuspid tooth is trying to come between the lateral. You notice the lateral's kind of headed off like that, and the cuspid is going up like this, and the central, and the cuspid is coming down between the two teeth. So that's going to be good. We're going to hook onto it and pull it over as we kind of push the lateral back in that direction. But don't try to bring the lateral up, just let it stay in the roof of the mouth like it as you bring it across. That's an interesting point here with changing positions of teeth in there, and it can be done, and you can do it, you know. Now, you see this lateral is laying like this. The cuspid is right in this area coming down, and that's pushed. The central root is pushed forward, the lateral root is pushed back here. So we're going to try to drag this cuspid over here, and we'll probably have to come over the top of the lateral root to do that and let the lateral get way out toward the palate. You'll notice the palate is extended out here on this side right there. Now here it is, the baby tooth and the permanent tooth. We're marking out there. We're going here this. Now just remember how this face looks. I didn't get to change it there. And you can see the cephalometric of it. There it is again. There it is. indicated. All right. Here the cuspid is coming down, and you see the lateral root going. And if you look real close, you can see the lateral root on the other side of the cuspid, except it's toward the lingual, and the root of the central is pushed over to the side. And we're going to have to drag this cuspid across here, bring that root back up in that position. And here we're going to take these teeth out. For some reason or another, this one got stuck down here, and it's not resorbing the root of that tooth, so it's developing, and you need to get onto it because it'll go down and hit the cortical bone, and then kind of lay down in a crooked area like that. Maybe discard that thing. We're going to keep. Okay. Now I'll have to go back here to the start for a second. Okay. Now we're going to move that cuspid off of that, and you can see we've taken the teeth out to let this erupt up, and we'll have to come down and, well, somebody else took the teeth out. We're going to have to get this tooth removed here, and that flicks back on us again. All right, that we'll remove that cuspid, the second bicuspid down at the bottom, and now you see the cuspid tooth is right over the central at this point. Let me mark this. It's got to be on the pin. Now that'll take so this is coming down, and this will come over on this next X-ray, and you'll watch. I don't have any in between pictures of it there, but when you do this, well, it's still there. And now that X-ray shows the cuspid is over, coming in this space. So we're going to enlarge that. This tooth is coming up. So now we'll come in and take these bicuspids out on the case. All right, so all the second bicuspids are removed. Now this does several things. It puts all the swallow pressure on just a few teeth in here, and you could get the vertical height to change a little doing that. And if you take the tooth like this and move it forward, it's kind of like having something and you move it, here it will lower to some extent. So these are little tricks to get the vertical height of the face down like you want it. And we've got wisdom teeth all the way around. So here we go on to the next X-ray, and everything's in there. You'll notice the root of this cuspid is kind of turned like that, where the central, the cuspid kind of begins and pushed it over like that as it develops. Now let's see. Here we go again, and this is where we're not quite through yet. We've got to get this midline is off quite a bit, so we'll have to move that over where that tooth was crowded out there. And you can see the cuspid that was coming in wrong. We've got it. This has to go in some. And this lateral has a lot of torque to it, and we're going to have to move it out to move the root of the lateral out and make it match up with this one over on the other side better. So you look at this and let that come in. Now you get an idea. This cuspid was up in between this, and that lateral root is laying down toward the tongue. And here in the cuspid, the central root is out here, and the cuspid was down in this area at one time. This is hard to scare you off of the case sometimes doing that. you can see how the lateral was way legal. Look at the shape of the palate coming around. It's all bulged out here. But this lateral root is toward the toe. Don't try to bring the root up there. As you're dragging the cuspid across the lateral, let the lateral just float in, and you drag the cuspid over it, and then you drag the root of the lateral back. And you'll watch this lateral change. This is I love to get these cases and just figure out ways to correct these problems, and this is a good one to learn on like that. Now we've eliminated some of the bicuspids and the deciduous teeth, so now our midline is coming back. This tooth is, the lateral looks better and the cuspid looks better also. From this standpoint, what we're singing for there. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're closing the bicuspid space on the bottom. And we've got everything lined up, and let's close the teeth. And this was the lateral that had the palate. And the palate has began to shape out a little better in there, but it's still got some fullness right in here. And you see this tooth, the lateral on the left side is better shape. And so we'll try to, hopefully that we'll torque that in. We've got a good rectangular wire now up here, and we'll put torque in that to bring this root in and to bring that one out some and bring the crown in. Okay, now it's looking good. The thing is just about torqued to the right amount. And you see the root is going in now, and the palate is changing. Okay. Now here is the pictures of the young lady. She's lined up and looking pretty good. And then one day she comes in with this, it leaves like that, and here she is. She's dyed her hair red and trimmed it off and everything. But look at the height of the face now in here. It's about the same all the way up. And go back and let's see if we that doesn't show that. I won't carry it back to the very first pictures. You remember how far the face was down and how full it looked in the front. Now this is a bad smile picture, but she's got her eyes closed, but the teeth look good in the smile area. And the vertical height of the face is just about ideal right here. So that's kind of hard to do, but you can do it. And if you get them functioning right and you reduce the teeth and they're swallowing, you swallow like 2,000 times in a 24-hour period, and you bite together with a certain amount of force, and that stops the teeth at that point, you see. And that becomes the area where your teeth are beating together right there. So we're lined up like that, and this was that level, and the cuspid, and they look perfectly normal. And you look on the other side, the same thing. And I think we've got, this is the retainer we put in with a little bite plate up here to stop the lower teeth from erupting down. And this is the lower teeth, and there are the wisdom teeth in on the case. Once you get going in orthodontics, you can do these cases, these tough cases, and they take you a little longer and you should charge more for them, but be able to do this. In this case, you can just study it, what we did in here. And it had nothing to do with the dyeing of the hair now. She's a nice gal, and we've got her a nice set of teeth that are going to stick with her throughout life. And I thank you very much for watching. We put on these videos, and we're trying to show people what can be done with your teeth. And this is not just for dentists to look at. If you have a problem like this, take the video to your dentist. If he doesn't do this kind of stuff, maybe he'll learn how to do it, or take it to somebody that will do it. So we thank you for watching, and join our deal and subscribe to our channel. Now I'm going to close out and say goodbye.